Several contentious laws passed in 2023's legislative session that will affect teachers, including reducing teacher bargaining power. This comes after teacher shortages reported nationally during the pandemic. More than 2,100 teaching-related jobs posted on the Indiana Department of Education's website this month. WTIU reports.
To help cover the gap of needed educators, Indiana is using an increasing number of emergency licensed teachers. The state employed more than 6,200 emergency licensed teachers in 2022, up about 1,700 from the year before. It's now nearly 10% of licensed teachers in the state. School districts can request an emergency permit for a position if it's having a hard time finding a licensed teacher for the job. It's a temporary credential, and the person they hire must make a commitment to get the proper training. The license is good for 1 year and can be renewed. Daniel Wallace worked in a classroom at the Monroe County Community School Corporation before he got a job as a special educator with the corporation, using an emergency license. He also took classes to attain a master's in special education.
I really enjoyed the room. I liked the students, and most of them were returning, and I had already applied to grad school with the intention of going to school for special education, and so it kind of just seemed like perfect timing.
But attending classes at IU's School of Education and working full-time took a toll. And Wallace felt the demands of school took away from his ability to teach.
I wasn't able to prioritize being a teacher all the time, and I think that's something that really taxed on me.
Now Wallace works helping people with learning differences who are living on their own for the first time. He wants to finish grad school eventually. He says emergency licensure is good for paraprofessionals to move up in the classroom, but shouldn't be the answer to staffing shortages. A Vanderbilt study found that alternatively credited teachers' attrition rate was 25%, compared to 17% for teachers licensed in a 4 to 5 year program. Paul Farmer, the president for the Monroe County Education Association, says the disparity isn't fair to students.
They jump right in it, and they say, oh, I can do this, I can teach. And then they get an emergency license, and then they jump in without any background in education and how to work with students. Many of those, I know in several cases, they don't even make it a semester.
He says Indiana saw a record number of people licensed to teach in Indiana in 2019, but many are electing not to. Currently, more than 228,000 people in Indiana are licensed to teach.
We got tons of people that are licensed to teach. They just don't want to teach. So what's happening is, over time, those numbers of emergency licensed individuals has been increasing, and in particular over the last 5 years.
He says teaching roles for special education and some more specialized subjects are especially tough to fill. The shortage is compounded by the fact educators trained in Indiana are down 36% since 2014. Brad Balk, the dean of the By School of Education at Indiana State University, says the issue isn't new, and it's national. But the rise in unlicensed teachers does have real effects on quality of education.
As a prior math teacher, I may have ample content knowledge in the area of mathematics, but the pedagogical piece is, how do I engage the learner? How do I create an environment for success?
He says emergency licenses are needed to help meet school needs, and adds ISU is making education degrees more accessible and offering different options. He says emergency licensed and alternatively licensed teachers need support from their school and district to succeed in the classroom. Wallace says he might return to teaching someday. He says emergency licensure needs to be more structured.
I definitely do miss, some aspects of my old job, mainly the people and the students. Especially the people in my classroom. I really liked working with them.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm WTIU.